Jay here of Stretford, Paddock. This is it. This is the big one. Manchester United going to St James's Park to face Newcastle. This is the preview. Joining me, as always, is Mr. Joe Smith. And don't forget, this preview is brought to you by BetMate, the fantasy football app. We'll be getting into that a little bit later. Joe, how are we?
I'm very well, thank you.
So I use the royal we there.
I'm ready for some football. I'm ready for some action.
Some real football.
Some proper football. None of this qualification drivel. The fact that Italy have to qualify for a tournament they've already won, or they are the reigning holders of, says all you need to know about that shite. So we're back with proper football. Man United, top 4 dogfight. This is it.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, this is it.
This is that final push now. We're 10 centimetres dilated, and the league season is about to give birth to a big trophy baby.
10 centimetres dilated?
Don't worry about it.
I wondered what that meant when I was hearing it in the delivery room.
Yeah.
Anyway, top 4. If Newcastle beat us, which, won't happen, they go above us.
How mad is that? I thought we were like 12 points.
I don't understand it. Didn't they draw like every game for about 3 months?
After the League Cup final,
how have they ended up with not within touching distance of us?
Yeah.
Because they kept drawing. We went into League Cup final and their form was something like drawn 7, lost 1 of the last 7 games, last 8 games, sorry. And now they can literally go above us by beating us at home.
Yeah.
Or their home.
So we've both played 26 games.
Yeah.
We're on 50 points. They're on 47.
Yeah.
But their goal difference is 14.
Our goal difference doesn't count.
So our goal difference doesn't exist.
No.
Which, like you said, I'm sure that Newcastle didn't win for like 2 months.
Yeah.
And somehow, if they win a game at home against their sort of Premier League rival, they go above us.
It's cheating. That's what it is.
However, Jay, if we win, we go 6 points clear of Newcastle.
Yeah.
We would go 4 points clear of Tottenham with a game still in hand.
Yeah.
And we would remain, assuming Liverpool win, which they might not, obviously, because they've got Arsenal, haven't they? If assuming that they win as well, we will remain 8 points clear of them. They've got City, sorry, not Arsenal. So this is one of those games where if we lose this, top 4 is like on a knife edge. But if we win it, we're pretty much safe. I know, obviously, things can change. 6 points isn't a huge lead, but you look, because Tottenham have played 2 games more than us. We're still ahead of them. This is a massive game, weirdly, because you would think, like I said, we win the League Cup. They can't buy a win, and God knows they've tried. But we're not safe. So I can't work out how that's happened, how we've let this happen.
It doesn't matter anyway, Joe, because 2 words, 1996.
What's that? Yeah.
You know it well. Yeah, we had to go to St.
3
James's.
years old.
No excuse.
Actually, 2 years old.
Typical YouTube. I was only 2, so I weren't there.
Yeah.
We had to go to St. James's. We needed a win to keep in the title race.
Yep.
And we got 1-0, thanks to Eric Cantona, So we've got form for it, for going to St. James's and getting a result. So I'm confident we can do it again. Well, and one man, we haven't got Eric Cantona this time.
But we do have a mercurial Frenchman.
Yes.
Forward striker.
Yes.
He's been back in training since the 22nd of February.
Right.
5 weeks later, he's just about, according to Ten Hag, ready to make his return.
Yeah.
Number 9, Anthony Martial.
He's like the fine china, isn't he? That you get out for a special occasion for when your grandma comes round.
Yeah.
Just get him out now and again. You don't waste him on just, your mates have come round to watch the match. No.
Don't waste him on, home and away against Barcelona.
No, none of that.
Forget that. For the Geordies.
Do you know what I mean? Anfield, no. The big one is St. James's, and he's ready for it. What do you make of this, the fact that Anthony Martial's come back? Because Adam McCall on a video where you recently said he's been our best striker post Sir Alex Ferguson, I think.
Yeah,
I don't want to get that wrong, but I think that's what he said.
But he did say that.
Okay.
I think there's 2 or 3 options that are better than him, or certainly more prolific than him. However, if I'm Wout Weghorst and I play every single minute of every single game while he's gone, and then the second he's back in the starting lineup, I would be pissed off.
Yeah.
However, I think we need Martial for this run-in because we're still in 3 competitions. I know we're not going to win the Premier League, but we've got to play every week.
Yeah.
Winning games is massively important to secure top 4. We've still got the FA Cup. We've still got the Europa League. We can't have a striker that scores 2 goals in 19 games. As much as I like the work that Weghorst has done, in terms of build-up play and holding the ball up and bringing other players into the game, I think he helps us win games. We need someone that is going to score 5 goals plus between now and the end of the season, and I don't see anyone other than Martial being capable of that. He needs to get back in the team. We need to play him when possible, and hopefully he can stay fit, because that's the other thing. Yes, he's back, but he's been back 4 or 5 times this season, and he gets injured again every time. hopefully, he's been, like I said, back in training. I know it was only sort of individual stuff since the 22nd of February. If he's not ready to play now, then this injury could be a real sort of career changer because, if you can't overcome it in that time, there's real issues there. And I'm hopeful, obviously, he's back and he's going to be ready to fire again.
Do you think there's been maybe a psychological reason why Erik ten Hag hasn't pushed him back? Because he's been training for, like you said, 6 weeks, whatever it is, or, well over a month.
Yeah.
But we saw it against Everton, didn't we? I think it was started against Everton.
Yeah.
He got injured in the warm-up,
yeah.
Hobbled off after 28 minutes, whatever it was, went off after 20 minutes. Do you think maybe Erik ten Hag's thinking, this guy might have it in his head, unless he's 100% fit, well, and I need to restrain him because, not restrain him, but I need to make sure he feels confident in his mind, like, look, I've trained for ages now, so I'm at the point now where I'm keen to start. Yeah. I'm not worried, come on. Yeah. Do you think there could be something there?
Yeah, maybe, because like you said, he came on against Liverpool having had a bit of a knock, scored, got injured, played against Everton, got injured, played against City, got injured, and we've not seen him since.
No.
So there's definitely that, like you said, this case where he's unable to stay fit, and maybe he is thinking, I keep rushing myself back. Yeah. And hopefully we've given him enough time, and Weghorst has allowed that kind of leeway, and we're still winning games mostly, especially in the cups, that he's been allowed it. But at some point you've got to start playing. You can't just be training forever and not playing games, because what good are you otherwise? Well,
with all that in mind, let's still go to Predict 11. Let's start with you. Yeah. So there's your Predict 11. You've got, I think you can see there, you've got Anthony Martial, but talk us through it.
Yeah, so we've got De Gea, I've gone with Wan-Bissaka. I think Dallow's been kind of in and out of form since the World Cup. I don't think he's been at his best. I thought pre-World Cup he looked very good, and since then he's been sort of average. Then Varane, Martinez and Shaw, I think, picked themselves. Luke Shaw signed a new contract, which, people can say he's inconsistent, but what are you going to do? Let him leave on a free? Yeah. I think he's good enough when he's playing well that, he deserves to stay. Then I've gone with Sabitzer. I'm not certain if he'll be fully fit, but apparently the talk of the knee injury that he had for Austria was more of a knock.
Didn't he play after that?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So he should be ready to play if nothing else. Maybe not full 90 minutes. But I've gone Sabitzer and Fred in there. Unfortunately, McTominay couldn't force his way in. Then that front four, which I think is Ten Hag's preferred front four. Yeah. When everyone's fit, we've got Fernandes, Antony, Rashford and Martial, and I think we've got ourselves a really good team there. I'm hopeful Martial's ready to start, but if not, we'll see Weghorst up top. But I think surely he's had 2 extra weeks training with no one else there, him and Eriksen doing little rondos by themselves. He's got to be ready to start, and I think that's a very strong team.
I think that team is absolutely ridiculous. Let's look at my team. This is the team.
Yeah, you're right, yeah.
I don't know what you were thinking.
No, now I see yours.
What is up with you? Honestly, really sorry. Get a grip, son.
So where I've gone for sort of that team, you've gone for the exact same one, yeah. I've noticed.
I think I agree with everything you said, so I don't need to repeat it. Anthony Martial, by now, I think he should be fit, and if he's fit, he should start. I like Weghorst, he's a good kid, but 2 goals in 19 games tells its own story. Yeah. I think if you can get Martial fit, he should start. And as you've mentioned with all the other players, I completely agree. Should we talk about the opposition?
Yes.
Yes, because Newcastle, patchy, but they've had some decent results as well.
Yeah, and as Ethan will regularly point out, obviously producer on the channel and full-time Geordie, they only lose to big teams. Yeah. I think they've only lost to United, City and Liverpool this season in the league. Like, they don't, or maybe at all. I don't know if they lost to Wednesday as well, so it must be in the league. But they've drawn a lot of games, they don't score that many goals, but they don't just give away losses willy-nilly. So I think they're a good team. But United have just got to do what we did in the League Cup. Go there, be clinical. That's the crucial thing, especially when you've only got one guy scoring goals. If we get chances, they have to go in, because we can easily sort of lose our heads a bit. But if we do that, there's no reason we shouldn't win.
I'm a little bit worried because I think they've played Callum Wilson quite a lot. Recently, but Alexander Isak sort of forced his way back in the team. I know he's had injury problems, and I think he's more dangerous. He's a player who, in terms of goals, I think he's got 6 goals, so it's not like he's scored loads, but if you look at more recently, if you look at the difference between him and Wilson, who I don't think Wilson scored since the World Cup. I think he's pretty much fallen off a bit of a cliff form-wise, or at least goal-scoring form-wise, whereas Isak is much more dangerous for me and just a better forward. Yeah. So that does worry me a little bit, the fact that he's, from what I gather, more likely to start. And you can see there, we've got some stats, 6 goals, 8 chances created, his XG is 5.6. I mean, he's just a lively, quick, decent, skillful striker in it who can cause you problems. Talk to us about Bet, mate.
So BetMate, it's the ultimate fantasy football app. As you can see here, there's my team. But BetMate is better than other apps. And do you want to know why, Jay?
Yes, I do.
Because it actually values players who are good at football, not just those who are decent at scoring. You know, for too long, the stats have been based on, oh, did he get a goal, did he get an assist? Well, now it's tackles, interceptions. You've got the full gamut of footballing quality to choose from. And I ain't got him in today, but I've quite regularly got Casemiro in there because he's someone that picks up points.
I mean, it'd be crazy to have him in today
numbers.
considering he's suspended.
Well, exactly, that's what I'm saying. But like, I've got someone in there who I don't even know if he'll start, but I think if he does, he will get points this week because he's scored 4 goals in his last 2 Scotland games.
Also, as well, you can change this when the teams come out.
Yeah.
Right up, I think until 5 minutes before kickoff. So if the teams come out and you've got a team that, you know, players who aren't playing, you can change it. You've got right up till almost till kickoff to change it. So there's your team. You've got, you know, some decent players in there, obviously. You've gone United heavy, as you should do. You go to my team. I've done exactly the same. Gone United heavy. I've got Almiron in from Newcastle. Marcus Rashford's on fire. I've got him as my captain. Bruno's my vice-captain. Like Joe says, you get points there, not just for goals and assists, obviously, but things like interceptions, tackles, and it's all powered by Opta Stats.
That is a really good point, though, like you said, about the team coming out, because we've got players in there who, yes, I think they might start or they might not, but for example, Wan-Bissaka, I think he might start, but if he does, I'm not picking him. Whereas Dalot, if he starts, I might pick him.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
To get a goal or an assist. And with BetMate as well, if you join, you get £10 in free bets when you enter any paid pot. So make sure you use our code Paddock10 when you sign up for BetMate. The link is in the description. There's also a £5 pot where we've both joined. That's where our teams are. And if you win it, you get a share of £500.
You've won
something
some money,
I've done twice, Jay.
Like
I've won big money
stop reminding
twice.
us about, thank you, look at me, I'm winning money,
Yeah.
Well, if he can win it, anyone can. Right, with everything we've discussed, my friend, give us your score predictions.
They don't concede many. We don't score many. It's got 1-1 written all over it, but I think I'll just suggest that we'll edge it 2-1 United. Rashford and Anthony. Martial with a sort of good performance on his return.
I think you were right the first time. I think it has got 1-1 written all over it. And I actually think I'd probably say that they need the win more than we do. I think this is probably our trickiest game left of the season, Newcastle away.
Probably, yeah.
Have we got Spurs away as well?
Yeah,
we've got a couple, but this is as tricky a game. You look at the table, they don't come much tougher than that from the fixtures we've got left. So I think if we do get a draw, it's a decent result for Manchester United, and it's probably a little bit of a disappointment for them. So I'll go 1-1. I hope I'm wrong, and I hope we win. Of course, make sure you are getting involved in the chat and the comments. Don't forget as well, we want your score predictions. So get your phone out, film yourself in landscape like this, give us your 30-second or so score prediction. Just let us know what you think the score's going to be, who's going to score, and send it to paddockmatchday@gmail.com. Yeah?
Perfect.
Send it in. Don't forget as well to go and check out BetMate. There's a link in the description. Joe, where can people find you?
Sloppy Joe's podcast, Sloppy Joe's live tickets are still on sale. A very couple left. So check that out if you fancy it.
Yeah, you know where to find me as well. That's been Joe Smith. I've been Jay Motti. This has been the Newcastle preview. Thanks for watching.